Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hi, this is Rico. Can we just take a moment to appreciate our GM, Andrew Berry? I know he has made some mistakes along the way, but what GM hasn't? He is still young and growing into his job. From the outside perspective, he seems to ignore or put limited resources into a certain position group, but then the very next season, he attacks it. I mean, far be it from me to criticize the GM, but like I said, it's just an outside observation from a couch expert like myself. But he seems to get his man when he targets them in free agency or trades. Also, him being one of the extremely few men of color in an executive position, he can build a rapport with players. I mean, that has to count for something. I, for one, am very excited for his continued ascension, and I do think he will help lead this organization and fan base to glory. What are your feelings on Barry? Thanks.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Tyler, I think he is very good. And the other thing, I like the couch expert, by the way, Rico. The other thing that I think is very important, players respond to, more importantly, agents seem to like dealing with him. And that's an underrated part of being a GM. Now, you got to hit on your draft picks, and, we'll see how that goes. Drafting's as important, but agents like dealing with him. That's important in free agency.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the caller mentioned, I mean, you'll see at time to time Andrew Berry not put many resources in. For instance, defensive tackle last year was a big one. And what did he do this year? That he knew that was a major need, so he went out and got Dalvin Tomlinson. He went out and drafted Siaki Ika. He went out and brought in Maurice Hurst and Tristan Hill. He went out and added 4 defensive tackles. He proved that was a need that needed to be addressed, and he did it. Some wonder if linebacker is kind of that position this year. Did the Browns do enough because they only brought back their own guys? And time will tell. I personally think he did enough there, but look at the guys that he's brought in. I mean, this year, Juan Thornhill, you bring him in on a very reasonable contract. Ogbo Okwonkwo, you bring him in on a very favorable team contract. Bring in Marquise Goodwin, Rodney McLeod, bring back Anthony Walker, Sione Takitaki for the veteran minimum, Jordan Akins. I mean, look at what Andrew Berry has done. He's consistently finding ways to make the team better with not having the most cap space to do that. The easiest way to create cap space is restructuring contracts, and he's very good at doing that. But if you look at the way he structures deals too, that's something that doesn't get talked about enough for the work that he does there in making it, for instance, like Dalvin Tomlinson this year, making $4 million for your first year salary, is the way he's structuring these. He's backloading these contracts, and what he does as a general manager, when he backloads those deals, the NFL cap is going to keep progressing every single year, and that's going to not only help the Browns, but when these contracts come in, it's not going to hit the cap as hard because that cap keeps going up. And then he's just able to keep restructuring contracts, which at some point can get a little dicey because you can only kick the can down the road for so long. But then that's when you can give guys contract extensions to push those cap hits back. So look at everything Andrew Berry has done, his body of work. And obviously it's only been one playoff appearance so far. There have been a lot of other circumstances that I think, along with Kevin Stefanski, are the reason the team hasn't made the playoffs the last 2 years. But the work he has done to build this roster since he and Kevin Stefanski have come to Cleveland, it's been remarkable. And I didn't even mention bringing in Darius Smith for basically nothing and trading Amari Cooper last year for nothing and bringing in Elijah Moore, who some believe could end up being the Browns' leading receiver as far as receptions this year. So Andrew Berry is a fantastic general manager. We're very fortunate to have him in Cleveland. And I'm glad that caller brought it up because a lot of times, like, we want to criticize, he still didn't get this one guy. Look at his body of work and what he's done to make the roster better. Before he got here, look at the roster, what it was before he got here, and after he's taken over. Dramatic difference.
The moves that he makes seem to make sense. Now, they got to go out, but at least you can follow the line of thinking. If you pay attention, you follow the line of thought be towards building that out.